everybody, this is Becky Liggero here with Garrett Krause of TroyMoney, and we are in New York City at the Unbounded Capital Summit. I'm so excited to meet you in person because I've seen you on Kurt's live stream, I've seen you all over social media, and thank you for being responsive on Twitter DMs. That's what
Yes.
he's very good. It's a secret right there.
Yes.
But I'm really excited about TroyMoney. I loved your presentation up on stage.
Thank you.
But I also love that you're part of like the old school mining world, which actually means physical mining as opposed to Bitcoin mining.
Correct.
Tell me a bit about your experience before we get into what TroyMoney is all about with the mining world.
Well, I've been in the oil and gas, mining, minerals, commodities trading for 35 years. I mean, I sold my company in 1988, and that's what I went into. And I really think I'm an old school guy, an old school investor, an old school real hard assets. And so that's just what we do. I'm from Canada, you know, down living in the States, but Canadians are natural resource guys. They're miners, they're farmers, and so I really took a liking to real hard world assets that are in the ground.
Yeah, and I love that even though you're from the old school world, you're very open to looking at the new technologies available today to help these assets move around. Very exciting. So let's talk.
I'm a geek at heart.
Never.
I started my career and I sold my software company in 1988. And we were working on an 8088, 8286 microprocessor. So I'm a geek, I love tech, and so the blockchain thing excites me.
Yeah, even ahead of your time, like you were saying earlier.
Way ahead of my time.
I love that. Well, let's talk about TroyMoney, and let's begin with what your vision is for TroyMoney.
I built TroyMoney because I'm all in gold. And I think everybody should be, most of their liquid assets should be in gold. You shouldn't be in much fiat. Gold, real estate, art, hard assets. And so, but gold is a difficult thing because a lot of people don't know how to buy it. They don't know where to buy it. They always have to pay way over spot. And they buy gold coins and then they're not liquid. So I was introduced to the blockchain in 2017. I'm into the coin called Mineral Coin, which has nothing to do with TroyMoney, but it got me interested in the blockchain. And then when all of my friends know that I'm in the gold business, they go, hey, I need some gold. Where do I buy gold? And I get hundreds of requests. Can I buy gold? Can I buy gold? And then I went out and looked, because I know where to buy gold, and it was hard to buy gold. You had to trust some app in some gold-backed coin, some app in Hong Kong or some other app, and then lose your keys, lose your crypto. They're gold-backed, but if you lose your crypto, it's gone. So for old school guys like me, we want to buy gold, know that we own the gold. So TroyMoney was a result of requests from people wanting to buy gold. And I built the app on what I would use. And if I use it to transact my liquid holdings, then why wouldn't millions of other people use it?
Yeah, amazing. You mentioned 2017, where I know you were working with Ethereum, I think, and that didn't turn out so well. But this story has a good ending here. Well, maybe just its beginning, when you met James Belding of Tokenized.
Correct.
So tell me about the experience that you had in 2017, what went wrong there, and why you were excited with the idea of Tokenized.
It didn't go wrong in 2017. We were just pioneering. Yeah. We were pioneering securities and alternative investments on the blockchain. And there was no regulation yet. There wasn't even a word securities token at that time when we minted the first 5 to 10 coins on Ethereum. So we were just real hard assets going on the blockchain. We had no regulation, but we knew that they were securities. Yeah. And so the last thing I wanted to do was trade them. So I just put a hold on the project, and I waited for all these Ethereum platforms to develop, which never really did. They never really solved the problem. So I was developing TroyMoney, and I figured, I have to just go back on Ethereum or Polymath or one of these blockchains, Solana, and it would just be a very simple certificate, an ownership. So if you own gold, you could go on the blockchain, you could see that you own the gold, you could match it to the gold in the vault, and it would be very simple ownership certificate, like a title. But then I met James, and I watched the London blockchain conference like 5 months ago when you guys were hosting it. I watched it online, and I got the idea. I'm listening to all these micropayments, I'm listening to all these fractional costs, I'm listening to all the power of BSV, and I knew nothing about Bitcoin. BSV, the wars, the splits, the forks. I knew nothing. So I went into a deep dive and I educated myself. I called James direct and I said, tell me about your protocol. Tell me about Bitcoin. Tell me about Craig Wright. Tell me about the forks. Tell me about everything. And, for 2 months, I literally asked James every night. We would talk. He's in Australia, so 5 p.m. I would call him, 7 a.m. I'd say, James, wake up. I need education. I need to do my own research. Then I would go out to all my friends, and they go, oh, if you're not going to develop this on BSV, that's a scam. Craig's a scam. Craig's a fraud. This is this. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I asked James, is Craig a fraud? Is Craig a scam? Is BSV a scam? And I asked everybody else. And then I made my own decision. And I think that WorldVest jumped into BSV because of everything that we've heard here up on stage, because of all the power and opportunity. And here's what I've deducted. BTC is a HODL investment case for good or bad, but you can run a whole economy on BSV. Stuff for the economy, and people in this room are building stuff for the economy, and that's where builders are going to be in the future.
Wow, I love that the capabilities of BSV are what inspired you to come up with the ideas behind TroyMoney. Because I was thinking that you tried this on Ethereum and it didn't work because of the limitations of Ethereum. But you were inspired by what James was telling you.
I was, but I knew this wouldn't, I could issue a certificate, an ownership certificate on Ethereum with no real transaction, right? Yeah. You could own your gold, you could look it up, and you could have a receipt. Yeah. But it can never be money on Ethereum or any of the chains. It can never be money. So I learned about adding the money, and then we developed the app, and we expanded it to be money. Because then we realized that, okay, even a stable coin, which we're launching 2 stable coins, you can't use a stable coin today for anything except for staking or digital assets. But you can't, so with BSV, you can actually use a stable coin, of which there's none existing, to actually, if you want to have USD, a digital USD, you could go and buy a coffee and pay, and the merchant doesn't have to pay 4% and 30 cents a transaction. So the world is changing, the money is changing, but nobody wants CBDCs because they're gonna watch everything. So now you can have your digital fiat or your digital gold or your digital oil or your digital silver, and you could walk into any merchant that accepts TroyMoney, and you can make payments and no government interference, private, no monitoring, no central banks, no nothing.
Yay, finally.
Finally, exactly, finally.
And I just wanted for you also quickly to describe the being able to take a line of credit out, because this is a total innovation, very cool.
So we've all heard of DeFi. We all heard get your Bitcoin, stake it, borrow money, right? The gold-backed assets out there, which most of them are crypto, lose your keys, you lose your gold, okay? Because there's no correlation. With ours, we're not crypto. We're an ownership certificate token, and it doesn't trade on a crypto exchange. And if you lose your wallet or you lose your keys, we freeze your token, and we reissue your token in a new wallet. And so at no time you'll lose your assets. That's key. The other thing we added was, because we have a liquidity provider that's world-class, built into our access to and from the metals, I can allow anybody that owns a gold, silver, platinum, palladium, an automatic 80% line of credit on their assets. So gold is an appreciating asset, it's an investment. But why would you have to sell your investment if you have an emergency? Why do you, let's say you have to go to the hospital and you got $50,000 worth of emergency bills, and you don't want to charge up your credit cards 21%. And going in to get a HELOC in today's world is almost impossible. Yeah. Credit checks and bank statements and tax returns, and then the bank doesn't have any money to lend you anyway. So you can automatically just draw from your gold up to 80%. I think the interest rate is SOFM plus 3%, which is the same you'd pay on a HELOC on a mortgage, but it's not 22% on your credit card. So by adding that feature, it differentiates ourselves for those that won't want to sell their investment but need a little liquidity.
Oh, Garrett, I love so much what you're doing. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
And it makes me really excited to hear you talk about your project. Lots of passion, and going to be following all your moves. Love it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And thank you guys so much for watching. It's Becky Liggero for CoinGeek.com.
Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin wallet, blockchain, stablecoins, MetaNet, the evolution of money. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin today, but what exactly is it? Learn the basics from experts. Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Blockchain 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.